So this one is a continuation of PewView's video where he built his own, or he designed his own 1911 style. This is an update of after he's put like 10,000 rounds through the pistol. So this is the to be continued of his 1911 design. How is it performing after having 10,000 rounds fired through it? I am intrigued. So, thank you, Red Bastard. Thank you. Oh, one Demolition Ranch range. Yeah, who knows? Maybe he did do it on a Demolition Ranch range day. I don't know. I haven't gotten 20 yet. Be patient. Alright, let's check it out. Lord.
PewView Edition Apache. It has been over a year since we released this thing, and 10,000 rounds later, I think it's time for an update. But first, what the hell is an Apache? So for those of you that have no idea what I'm talking about, I helped design this 1911. Now I use that term very loosely because at the end of the day, there's only so much that you can do to make it your own design when it comes to an existing platform. So let me show you what I mean. So when it comes to the double stack 1911 platform or the 2011, there's not really a mil-spec to go by. So the challenge to designing this was finding all of the best features to a good 2011 platform and putting them all together in one pistol. Side note, I'm gonna say 2011 a lot during this video just because I'm used to it. The only difference between a 2011 and a double stack 1911 is that staccato trademarked 2011. So that's not exactly the platform. They're all technically double stack 1911s, but let's be real, we all call these 2011s. But so I don't get sued, it's a double stack 1911. So anyways, about a year and a half ago, I teamed up with Watchtower, a company formerly known as F1 Firearms, to bring you guys what I think to be one of the best 2011 designs on the market. 1911, sorry. So in this video, I'm going to talk about what has happened after 10,000 rounds.
Really, Andrea? Nice. Nice. That is a true gunman there.
Through this gun, I'm also going to be giving you guys some details of what I designed specifically on this and
me
why
neither. Me neither. For me, it's a 19 what? Like, this is a 1911. This, like, I will call all of these style firearms 1911s. Flat out. I will. Yeah, it is definitely, like, and, like, the color choices for the frame, are great. Like, these are good color choices, too. Well, it's a double stack, so I think it's, I'm reasonably sure it's a 9mm, but I could be wrong. Is it a 45? I can't remember if he said if it was 9mm or 45. I don't remember.
Designed them, and I'm also going to be answering some of your most asked questions. Starting with number one, no, unfortunately, you can no longer buy these. We only did 1,000 of them, and they sold very quickly. But fortunately, for one of you guys watching this right now, you're going to get a chance to make this one your own. We once again teamed up with veteran-owned company, fan of them, to give you guys an opportunity to make this your own. So if you're interested in taking your last chance to own a PewView Edition Apache, all you got to do is hit the link down in the description below or scan this QR code right here and purchase yourself a collectible. Not only will you be supporting this channel and helping me grow for future videos, you're also supporting a veteran-owned company. And another plus side is that one of you guys are going to end up with this gun. So don't miss your last opportunity. Go hit that link in the
I wish. Oh, God, do I wish. Right now, I wish I lived in the States. Oh, I so would want the chance to win this. then- Well, in drowning modes, I doubt they'd even be able to send it to Canada. Forget about the gun laws. They probably wouldn't even be able to send this to Canada because of, they probably wouldn't even be able to mail this across the border, honestly. Which sucks.
Description. All right, so starting with the design of this, we're gonna start with the slide here, the serrations. A lot of people see these and say, why the hell are they designed that way? Some people love the looks of them, some people do not, and then people are wrong. Let me tell you why they're the best slide serration. Let me tell you why they're the
Yay!
My grandfather has a 1911 from 1918. He named it Thumper.
Sweet, Ammo Rock! That's fucking awesome! That is out-fucking-standing. I hope he keeps it in good condition, and I hope he still is able to shoot it. They can also be in 40 dry sal, although nobody uses 40 anymore. Okay, Pew kind of,
We're wrong. Let me tell you why they're the best slide serration.
then deserved.
Let me tell you why they're the best slide serrations for me personally. So the reasoning behind this design was that I'm not a FUD, I don't rack my pistols back here, and I don't use the SRO because I don't want it all cloudy and smudged up. I wrap my hand around this right here, that's how I rack my guns. Not only is it more comfortable, it's more efficient, it's a little bit faster. Let me show you why. So on the timer, I'm gonna try all 3 of these ways to rack your pistol and get kamikazed by a
What the fuck? This guy is fucking aimbot incarnate.
Try all 3 of these ways to rack your pistol and get kamikazed by a Japanese beetle. Anyways.
I don't know if that was racist or not, but
It was a Japanese beetle.
you said kamikaze.
I did say kamikaze. I meant no racism by that. It just happened to be a Japanese beetle. And kamikaze.
Calm yourself, woman.
No. No.
It was the first thing that popped in my mind when something was flying on my face. Anyways, so on the timer, I'm gonna pick this gun up, put the magazine in, and try all 3 different ways to rack. I'm trying these 3 specific ways because they seem to be the most popular. Starting with the good old FUD sling here on the timer, we'll see how it goes. .180 using the optic. 171.
Okay.
137. So as I stated, back here you have to completely get your hand away from where it needs to go to pull the trigger. Same concept with this. Right here, I can just let go and my hand is right where it needs to be able to get on target. So with that in mind, I wanted to focus quite a bit on the forward serrations. The complaints that I have seen from people in the past at events and stuff are they are not aggressive enough. Well, there's a reason behind that. Let me show you. So for comparison, right here, we got a Bull Armory TAC Pro, we got a Staccato P and a Staccato XC. Now these are all fantastic pistols. All in my top 5. I am in no way, shape, or form shitting on or comparing this to the Apache. These are fantastic guns.
And
but
Jacob O'Keefe, thank you for the follow.
Aggressive forward serrations on stuff like this, they are shelving these at 90 degrees. So if you happen to find your thumb up on the slide as you're shooting, you're gonna be missing some skin here. So what we did on the Apache is put them
Wait, I want to see that again because I've been wondering about his hand positioning. I am. This is the only thing. That's not gonna be the only thing hitting him in the face of that berserk. Yes, you're getting bonked. You're not wrong, but you're getting bonked. And, well, I'm... okay, Atsunashi? One thing I've noticed is his grip. Because I've noticed his thumb runs along the slide with his grip. And since I've watched him shoot, I'm constantly thinking, how is he not getting, you know, like, burned? How is he not getting, like, burned by the slide? with his hand position. Because when I've fired weapons, I've done a I always hold the weapon in a traditional manner, and so I've been very curious about his hand position when he grips and fires a sidearm.
These at 90 degrees. So if you happen to find your thumb up on the slide as you're shooting, you're going to be missing some skin here. So what we did on the Apache is put them at a slight angle so they're a little bit more smooth. When your thumb passes that, it's not going to rip off your skin, it's not going to catch your finger and stop the slide. We also did a little bit of checkering up top just for a little added texture when you're wrapping your thumb. And stuff like this is a little bit more smooth so you don't have like an aggressive patterning to grab your thumb. But still an amazing pistol, great design. I haven't had any issues other than sometimes I'll run my...
Yeah, Taurus is just, I've never tried that before. I've always used what's considered the traditional, not cup and saucer. I don't do that, but the more traditional method of gripping a pistol. So this is a new style that I've been very interested in.
Thumb up there and, you know, be missing a little bit of skin up here. But pro tip, don't put your fucking thumb there. But accidents happen when you're in a competition or whatever. Your thumb just kind of might do some hitchhiking and you'll catch yourself running into some slide serrations. So with that in mind, we made it a little bit more smooth, but still aggressive enough that you can have wet hands and still manipulate your slide. Design number 2, the safety. As you can see over here, we went with a pretty slim safety. Now the reason behind that is if you're used to seeing guns like Atlas 2011s and stuff like that, they have a giant left side safety. I like to run my left hand pretty damn high up on the gun, so I find myself engaging the safety a lot under recoil when this is too big. So for that reason, we went with a slim safety on the left. On the right side, for you left-handed shooters, we didn't worry about you. I'm just kidding, but we got a normal size safety over there for you guys. This gun is very particular to me, and I ride my left hand pretty high, and I was sick of engaging the safeties. I even find myself doing that on normal size safeties like we got right here on the XC. Anything larger than this, I will find myself hitting that safety and engaging it as I'm trying to shoot, which is less than ideal when you're in the middle of a competition and you accidentally flip your safety off. So we just decided to go ahead and get rid of that problem before it becomes one. Number 3, and the most important. Number 3, my lord.
And like cryptic, yeah, you can make fun of me for my my firearm handling, but I'll tell you what. Like I said, with the Kimber that I used to shoot, first pull every time, dead center target. 10 ring every time. First on the first pull. And the others, you know, and the other rounds were not you know. Oh, screw you, Cryptid. I love the Kimber. Like the Kimber Ultra Carry that I shot, I fucking loved it. Like I said, 10 ring first shot every time. The other shots may not be as accurate, but I still had a nice, good grouping to them. It was probably by far one of my favorite handguns to shoot. Hands down.
What's interesting is I am left-handed but hold and shoot with my right hand.
Okay, that's not the first time I've heard that. That's actually not the first time I've heard someone say that. And we should not doing cross-eye dominance. That can be a royal pain in the ass. Thank you, Hefe. I've got some knowledge, and I like sharing.
Oh, okay. 3, the Compensator. Now, a lot of people see this and think that it's a really thin comp. It's not going to compensate as well as other pistols. Well, let me show you why we did this. Now, we started with a whole bunch of different shapes and sizes of compensators until I could get a good return to zero. What I mean by return to zero is that you can rip off 2 rounds and you're not going to have to worry. Both of them rounds are going to land in the A zone. Stuff like the XC. Now, this has a better recoil impulse than the Apache does. This is incredible. They did a fantastic job. This thing does not move in your hand. The XC is one of my favorite guns, but it compensates a little bit too well if you're talking return to zero. Let me show you what I mean. All right, we got the best target on the market, a good old cardboard box. Starting with the XC, I'm just gonna pop 2 rounds off so you can see how close they land together. 7 yards. So this is my aiming point both times. This is the follow-up. This is the follow-up. So really good. XC is fantastic with follow-up shots. All right, we got a fresh side of this fantastic target here. And now we're switching over to ports. This is a staccato P done by Vulcan Machine Works. Ports compensate just as well as compensators do. Sometimes better, sometimes worse. We'll see how this compares when it comes to return to zero. So, about equal to the XC. This is my aiming point.
Okay.
And then right here, you got your follow-up shots. So, still very good.
For rapid, for two-shot rapid fire, good, you know, not bad grouping for a two-shot rapid fire. For a double tap, hell yes.
All right, now we got the patchy. I'm gonna do the same thing. Now I did put a hole in that cardboard box already because it turns out that you need to have a magazine to do a follow-up shot. So, ready? Now obviously I have shake right to left, but the
Look at this grouping. Look at this fucking grouping. Very God. F8, have you seen my YouTube channel? Why do you think everyone is here? Everyone is here because of my reacts to Kentucky Ballistics. Look at that. Holy shit, there's some left to right wiggle room here, but... Wow! That is fucking impressive.
shake right to left, but the return to zero is quite a bit smaller than that. So the felt recoil of this is a little bit more than the Staccato XC or the Staccato P that's got ports, but we did that because we had nothing but return to zero in mind when making this. So in our testing with different sizes, we found that this was the best to return to zero for competition shooters. Now obviously there's a lot of different factors when it comes to return to zero.
Else? Maybe.
Pistol. It doesn't just solely rely on the compensator or ports on your pistol. It has more to do with your grip than anything, but if you have established a good grip, you will notice what your compensator or ports can do when it comes to return to zero. All right, now let's talk about the other features that we put on there. Like the flat face trigger, that's just personal preference. I like the flat face trigger. This thing is breaking right around 2 pounds. It's a great trigger. It's got a nice power.
I'm still not a fan of the flat trigger. Granted, this is going by just in my mind the look of it and my perceived feel of it. If I were to shoot a pistol with a flat trigger, I could very well change my mind. I have not had the opportunity to try a flat trigger myself, so I could very well change my mind about it. But my first blush feeling is I won't like it as much as a standard curved trigger. No, I think the default 1911 is still, like, it has this where, you know, it's not just a free-floating trigger where it has this piece, but it's the traditional 1911 is still curved slightly to essentially cut the finger. When you rest the finger on the trigger. So, you know, that's all I've fired before. Now, like I said, if I get the opportunity to try a flat trigger, I may end up liking it. I might. So I don't know, but my first blush feeling is this doesn't look comfortable to fire. Yeah, yeah, Taurus. So yeah, I could see where each would have its merits. Absolutely. Yes.
Positive reset. Well, ASMR for you. Awesome trigger. This is a
Jesus.
Another thing is the slide release here. I like a good shelf underneath so I have something to push up against when I want to lock the slide versus it just being straight or flush. But this is also recessed into the side of the frame so you're not going to feel that when you're shooting. Now, a lot of people are probably going to question why the hell there isn't a front sight on this. I prefer to not run iron sights on my 2011. Now, you can obviously get a rear and front installed in this, and the gun that is going to one of you guys will obviously have that stuff on it. This is just set up for my personal preference. This is serial number 1, so this is exactly how I wanted the gun to be. Or is
Okay, and so this is where I have a point of disagreement with him. Like, I am all in on everything that he's talking about with his firearm choice right now. The one point of disagreement I'm going to have is the lack of iron sights. He does not like to have iron sights on there. We talked about this yesterday with the video, or maybe it was Thursday, I forget. But the first video with this, my thought process is I would rather have iron sights on there and the sight rather than go without, because if this fails, because not only is there battery consideration, there's all the technology inside. So there's more that can fail on this than an iron sight, which the failure of an iron sight is it gets damaged or pops off. There's more chance of this failing than an iron sight failing. I would absolutely prefer to have both. Yes. Like, I've no problem having an optic on here, but I want the iron sights there also. In case the optic fails, I have to rip the optic off and go iron sight. So that's my one point of contention. Because the iron sight that he showed when he went to the range, I think he went to Matt's range with this weapon, and the iron sight he had was it was an iron sight with a fiber optic on it, which is great. And I would definitely want iron sight with an optical as an option. So that's one thing where I'm going to say I do not agree.
A mag release. I didn't want something giant and bulky that I was accidentally engaging when I was shooting and dropping my mag. We just went with a normal sized mag release. Now the grip, we need to talk about the grip. So initially when we had done the prototype of this gun, we were running the old SDI tree bark stippling grip. Them things were fantastic. For those of you that don't know, SDI was staccato before staccato, and their old grips were phenomenal. So the plan was to launch all 1,000 of these PewView edition Apaches with the old SDI style grip, and it just didn't work out. So what we did find was a 3D printed grip that looked similar to the old SDI tree bark stippling, and it turned out to be a giant piece of shit, unfortunately. That has since been changed to the new Kevlar grip, so if you are unfortunate enough to get one of these, reach out to Watchtower. They will send you the new grip, and you can throw this thing in the trash.
A Kevlar grip? Holy shit! Your fucking gun is bulletproof! Damn! Alright, Ryget, have a good night. You used a dead RDO as gutter sight before? You can do it. I don't like the idea of it, but you can do it. That's why I was like, that's why I said, like, I'm fine with an RDO, but I want the iron sights there also. Aki, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Where it belongs. It's just cheap, gross plastic, and it just doesn't fit with the rest of the gun. This thing is super luxury, slick, just very nice gun, and then you had this thing. That is no longer existing. Which brings me to this. This is a nice Kevlar grip. I like this better than I like the old SDI tree bark stippling. This thing is fucking great. It's got the perfect amount of texturing, and that's kind of why I prefer polymer over aluminum or steel. A lot of people were saying, why did he not go with an aluminum grip? I prefer polymer. You got that polymer flex, and you can customize this. If you don't like the aggressiveness of the grip, you can sand it down. If you want more aggressiveness, is aggressiveness a word? If you want it to be more aggressive, you can simply stipple it, and then you're good to go. And I also like just, it kind of dampens the recoil a little bit more. When you get that steel aluminum, you got a little bit more of a snap. It's just, I like polymer pistols on all platforms better than I like steel or aluminum grips. So as I stated at the beginning of this video, I got about 10,000 rounds through this thing. So far, so good. This thing has ran pretty damn good for the most part, but at the beginning it was a little bit rocky. So this thing is entirely PVD coating. For those of you that don't know what that is, it's just a really slick, hard, durable coating that goes on your gun. I don't even lube this thing. It's just, listen to that. PVD coating is my favorite to put on any gun.
Like, this, like, every time he works the slide movement, it is so fucking smooth. That is like some of the smoothest pistol slide movement I've ever seen. Stop it. I'm talking about from a technical standpoint. I'm not talking about the hand motion. Like, wait, like I was thinking about this when he first showcased the Apache. The slide on this is so slick. And he actually was able to air rack the slide during that first video too. So it's like, holy shit. I would love to get an opportunity to fire this. I would love it.
Ever. If you got a PVD coated pistol, you understand what I mean. At the beginning, with this being PVD coated and the tolerances are just incredibly tight, this thing was getting dirty and then it was causing a lot of stoppages. But after 200 rounds, I broke it down, I cleaned it. 0 malfunctions since then. This thing has been running top notch. I've had a couple ammo malfunctions like stovepipes and shit and just normal, but for the most part, this thing is running 99%. But like I said, we are giving you guys the opportunity to get one of these things. If you're interested in entering that, try your luck using the link down in the description below or scanning this QR code. Let me know if you guys were designed on 1911, what would you change and why? Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
Wow. That was such a pretty gun. That was so nice. And I liked how he went in depth with how the decisions that he made in terms of designing it, and also showcased the impact that those decisions made in terms of the usability of the pistol. I thought that was great. Absolutely great.